Assalamualaikum and hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about cost data. Have you ever wondered what cost data is? Well, according to New Mexico statutes, cost data means fact-based information concerning the cost of labor, material, overhead, and other cost elements which are expected to be sustained by a contractor or which have been actually sustained by a contractor in performing the contract. Cost data is important especially for quantity surveyor to get their estimation for preliminary estimate. In Malaysia, there are several sources of cost data that we can get. There are published and unpublished cost data. For published data, we can get the cost data from handbook, internet, and magazine. While for unpublished, we can get them from collection of quotation, ECA, and previous PQ. For handbook, there are plenty of handbooks that contain the cost data in Malaysia. One of them is JUBM and Architects Construction Cost. It is to find the cost trend and also the rate of estimation. There are also JKR Schedule of Rate, where it contains of locality price index in Sarawak, SOR, and also the rates of elements. However, the rates of SOR are the ceiling price. Other sources from handbook is special release. It is updated every month to find the tender price index. Let's see what we can find from the internet. In internet, cost data can be found from My-N3C and also Ratol. My-N3C is a key initiative undertaken by CIDB to fulfill one of CIDB's functions, that is to provide consultancy and advisory services with respect to the construction industry and to initiate and maintain the construction industry from information system. It is to provide construction cost information, building material for price, labor, wage, rate, machinery, hire rate, and equipment purchase. While for Ratol, it is an initiative from JKR to make it easier for quantity surveyor to find the cost data. It is a comprehensive and flexible system for cost data processing that includes collection, search and query processes, data analysis, and price estimation. Other published cost data that can be found in Malaysia is magazine. The magazine is called the Malaysian Surveyor, which contains of cost information such as ECA, studies on cost of materials, labor wages, and basic wages rate of labor. Also subcontract labor and a brief report on property market in Malaysia. Okay, so other than published data, there are also unpublished data where the cost data is very hard to get, unless otherwise we have the internal connections. As you can see, one of the unpublished sources of cost data that can be used and found in Malaysia is from collection of quotation, whereby the consultant call up any suppliers for quotation of the price material that are used in the projects. Next is elemental cost data, ECA, where we can make the preliminary estimates by making the comparison between two or more buildings, because in ECA, the analysis has been done by the designer itself. Lastly is from the previous project bills of quantity. In BQ, all the information is provided, including the price and specification and considering the preliminary estimate. All we need to do is to update the TPI and the location index according to the proposed and analyzed project. In task 2, our firm has been appointed by the client to undertake the preparation of several tasks for a construction project which is expected to commence in July 2019. Our project is a residential building, consists of 2 stories building, which is located in Selangor, Malaysia. The proposed project is called Proposed Construction and Completion of 48 units of double-story semi-detached house and 1 unit of double-chamber T&B substation with infrastructure works at Phase 1 A Denai Alam Section U16 40160 Shah Alam Selangor Darul Ehsan. In order to make the preliminary estimate, the first thing that we need to do is to find the average of elemental unit rate and quantity from analyzed project. From 5 different previous ECA, we updated the location index and the tender price index from the analyzed project to the proposed project. Each ECA has the same number of story and also must be semi-detached residential building. Bear in mind that we got the location index from PWCIC and the tender price index from Special Release 2 of each year of the project. After the adjustment has been done, the average of each element from each analyzed ECA is calculated and form the new EUR for the proposed project. While for the EUQ, we calculated the quantity from our proposed building's drawings. The updated EUQ and EUR are transferred into a new ECA. Now, let's get into detail of how the adjustment works. To make the cost adjustment, we use about 5 ECA of previous projects which have similarity with proposed project, which is cadangan membina 38 unit rumah kembar 2 tingkat Selangor, proposed one-level semi-detached row house type AOA and AOC PT15 Kota Seria Mas Seremban Negeri Sembilan, 2-story of semi-D house Mukim Kuala Nerus Terengganu, cadangan pembangunan 44 unit rumah berkembar 2 tingkat di atas lot PT 40059 Jalan PJU 715 Mutiara Damansara Selangor, and 1 unit of semi-detached KTMB Staff Quarters Padang Besar Perlis. The formula for this adjustment is proposed TPI over analyzed TPI times EUR, and then the answer for that will be times by proposed LI over analyzed LI. So, the final answer will be the new EUR. The problem in doing this is there are some elements that is unlogical being excluded. For example, element door and window. In our project, the element used is door and window. However, some analyzed ECA use window and external door and also internal door. So, we only get the EUR from the analyzed ECA that use door and window instead of analyzed ECA that separate the external door and internal door. Instead of dividing them into 3, we divided them into number of ECA that use the door and window. For the element which the EUR and EUQ is not available, such as external work and staircase, the total cost of element is directly taken from the previous project, and then adjustments have been made for the new project based on the current tender price index and also the location index. In elemental cost analysis, there are 3 forms, which are Form 1, where the information on the total project and analyzed building, Form 2, about summary of element costs, and Form 3, about brief specification. In Form 1, the form is divided into 2 sections. First section provides overall information on the project including the location, the client, type of contract, and many more. Second section, it provides information and analysis of a single building. Form 2, summary of element costs that shows systematic breakdown of the cost of element of a building. In Form 3, it is a brief specification that provides brief specification based on each element including the types and quality of materials used. These are the proposed project brief cost information. The contract sum for this proposed project is 20.9 million. For provisional sum is 1.7 million. For prime cost sum is 1.1 million. The preliminaries is 1.2 million and no contingencies in this project. So that's all from us. Thank you for watching. Bye!